Ramblin man here. I was just thinking about, we as a nation, what have we lost? I remember growing up as a kid, and when you're a kid, I'm sure. Well, it depends how old you are. I remember watching the Challenger explode and the nation just grieving. And when that happened, it was a very sad time. People watched it in their schools, had them live streaming there in the schools on our TVs, which was crazy because I would say live stream is on TV. And we watched as the first teacher was going into outer space, and as it takes off and it blows up midair, and the teachers were crying. The students, I think, didn't really understand a lot of it, at the age that we were and stuff, but we're still like in awe, like, oh my gosh, because you can't when you see something like that, you're not really connected to it because you don't understand those people just perished. I believe there were 7 of them on there, and the astronauts, they just vaporized right in the air. And that was a moment for me where, if you think about between that and as you're getting older, and I grew up in West Texas, and we had Jessica McClure. She fell into a well, and everybody watched for hours as she was rescued and pulled out of an 18-inch hole. I believe she was 2 years old, and she was pulled out, and everybody celebrated as a country because her being rescued. And then you go all the way to 2001. I was stationed on an army post, and I had just gotten there in August, and then September 11th happens. And we all sat there and watched as a nation the way it brought us together. And we had such values. I just don't know where did we lose that? And I don't know that we've lost it as we have kids growing up, and you see everywhere you go, even I'm guilty of it. You sit at a table and you're on your phone. You have family time, you're on your phone. So many times my wife has said, man, can you put your phone away? Because you lose a little bit of that. How do you grow as a family if you don't have that one-on-one, face-to-face interaction? And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody and saying, hey, you're wrong. But I know for me, this is an area in which we as Americans, I mean, it's not just Americans, it's all across the world. But I would tell you, sometimes I'm envious of those countries that don't have technology, because you have those families that they all live together and they just build on another portion onto their house where their son or daughter lives with their husband or wife. And it just grows, and all the family lives in the same house that they just keep adding on to. And some people from here, our first world problems are like, oh, those poor people, they live in one giant house. And they have to be around their parents, and they have to be with their family. Well, in some ways, I'm envious of that, because they never lose that connection. And that's why you have some of these countries that the family means so much. And we used to be that as a society. We used to have that here in the U.S., where we were strong and we were just a more dynamic unit. I mean, we were a strong unit. You have a mom, a dad, and kids. Now it's so messed up. We have so many single moms and single dads, and kids without parents, and people that want kids but can't have kids. And it's just, I think sometimes you just want to get back to the roots, and I'm just going to tell you this: if you're in a place right now where your kids are still young, you may see it as overwhelming. You're like, you know what, there's nothing I can do about it. Yes, there is. Limit the time that people are on their phones. Limit yourself if you have that issue. If you tend to pick up a phone or a tablet or something instead of spending time with your kids or your spouse, that can be a big difference. And it's okay if you miss one TikTok video. It's okay if you miss a YouTube or your channel that you're watching. It's okay if you don't have music going nonstop. It may be awkward at first, but make those times happen. Make that time happen between you and your child, you and your spouse, you and your friends, family. Because I know that just even living in college and things, I had a lot of interaction with friends, and I'm not sure that that even happens as much anymore. Everybody's like, oh yeah, and then just texting back and forth and everything. Um, Make it a point to teach your kids proper manners, teach them respect, teach them what it means to be an American, what it means to be a family, a friend, and what is expected of someone. Let's not raise our kids to be lazy. Let's not let ourselves be lazy and be examples to them just being on our phone all the time. Put the phone down, step away, and let's get back to the basics. That's all I have to say. It's just something that's weighing on my heart, and I wanted to share that with y'all. But let's get back to being friends, family, and interacting. I mean, technology is great. You can interact with all your friends and stuff. But when you have that FaceTime, value it. Because you may not always have it. You're not promised tomorrow. Enjoy your FaceTime. Ramblin' Man, out.